The Medicine Police Service have charged 34-year-old Jerrison Stopanski with second-degree murder in connection with the disappearance of Amy Lewis. As you know, she was last in contact with friends on June the 11th and reported missing on June the 13th. Out of a local motel on June the 14th. Significant search efforts were conducted for several weeks after her disappearance. However, that search was suspended on June 13th. No one. Stopanski was initially charged with accessory after the fact to murder. However, those charges have been upgraded after police received forensic lab results from DNA evidence seized early on in the investigation. Additional DNA evidence is being examined by the lab, and the investigation is ongoing as the team continues to process information and do examinations on other evidence. Stopanski's next court appearance is on. Due to the fact that Amy's location remains undetermined, we continue to ask for the public's assistance in remaining vigilant in their activities and to contact police if they see family as well as our police service. We'd like to thank the public and the community for their support and assistance today.
Can you talk about where this evidence came from? You said you had run search warrants in this house. Is that where the evidence came from?
There was a number of covered as part of the investigation. So there were a number of things that were seized from a number of different locations.
How many pieces of evidence led to this charge?
A number of them.
Are there plans to resume search for Amy in the near future?
None of this time. As we stand today, that would bring any clear direction or location to where her whereabouts are.
Why second-degree murder, not first or manslaughter?
First-degree murder is different in that it's up to the onus is on the Crown to prove intent. And as we are today, the evidence that we've gathered today does not support that. It supports a second degree.
Can you expand on the relationship between Mr.
No, that relationship and how it developed it will be a matter for the courts to hear.
Because it wasn't, because it isn't a first-degree murder charge, so theoretically wasn't premeditated, would you maintain that the public at large isn't in danger?
No, the public is not in danger. It is specifically in regards to this matter.
And not having a body at this point, is that, has the local Crown ever prosecuted a case, or has there been a case in Medicine history where they've prosecuted a murder without
That's a good question, Alex. I can't think of one. I'm sure there has been. I'm right now off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but there are certainly unique challenges with prosecuting a case like this, but I know we are confident with respect to the evidence we have gathered to support these charges.
Do you have any sort of weapon?
We believe that obviously a weapon was used, but specifically what that might be is not known at this time.
Obviously, without a body, a cause of death is hard to determine. Do you have any sort of leads on that, though?
No, not at this time.
Any closer to finding out where she is?
Unfortunately, we still are no closer to knowing exactly where she might be.
Are you expecting to lay any other charges?
Well, that's a good question. I think that as we continue to process the information that we have that continues to come in and we examine other evidence, it's possible that other charges could be forthcoming. Right now, we're still reviewing the information we have, and so we don't want to rule that out.
And is there a motive that you're looking to?
That becomes part of the whole pieces, putting the pieces of the puzzle together with respect to this investigation and exactly how and why, and answering all those questions. And I think as we process that, there may be some information that surfaces for the courts to hear.
How much of an impact does the public tips have had on the investigation to this point in time?
Well, we always are very appreciative for the involvement of the community when it comes to solving any crime. And the public were very helpful and were wanting to be very, very helpful. Specifically, I'm not aware of what information they all phoned in or called in or came in about. But I know there were pieces of information that our investigators followed up that obviously have been helpful. And there is still other pieces of information that they haven't processed. They've prioritized the ones that have come in, and continue to work through that priority list.
You just spoke to the family. What are they saying about these new charges?
They're processing, I guess, that information and are, they're an incredible family. They're very, very strong. And of course, this is difficult for them. And closure in the normal sense hasn't occurred for them at this point in time. Our hearts go out to them and what they may feel in a circumstance like this.
You touched a bit on the fact that because there's no body, it's obviously going to be a hard case. How confident are you guys?
We are very confident that the evidence that has been gathered will secure conviction.
Has Mr. Stopanski at any point during the investigation cooperated with police investigators?
Well, I'll answer that question, Alex, like I did when someone asked it a few weeks ago, is that we continue to search for Amy Lewis.
Can you comment, you said it's DNA evidence, can you comment, is it Ms. Lewis's evidence or Mr. Stopanski?
Again, we've gathered a number of pieces of evidence with DNA-related evidence, and suffice to say that we conclude that the two of them, that the accused is connected to missing Amy Lewis.
At this time, is there still an ongoing focus on a possible second or third party, or has that been ruled out now?
Well, we never ruled that out. At this point in time, we have no evidence to suggest that anyone else has been involved in this matter. However, we still have significant pieces of information to process, and we don't know where that'll take us. But at this point in time, it does not appear as if it, but again, we don't want to become that the investigative team keep an open.
Any idea when we could get a next update?
I would think that unless anything significant happens from here forward, the updates will probably happen when he goes to court, and you guys will probably have those yourself. I don't anticipate it. Like we said last time, if something significant happens like this today, we'll definitely let you know. I mean, what I'd love to do, I'd love to be able to call you back tomorrow and say, we found Amy. That's what I'd love to be able to do for the families. But we don't know.
And just to clarify, accessory after the fact charge has been, new information has been sworn, and that charge will now be, it's a replacement information, the second degree murder from the accessory after the fact?
Yes, the Crown, I'm sure, will, that the processing of the charges through the courts is Crown, responsibility of the Crown, and it's anticipated that accessory after the fact murder charge will be.
Thank you.
All right.